When it comes to making plans for your retirement, nursing home care, or take care of your estate, there's so many things to consider.
That's right. Our expert in estate planning is here to talk about what can be a very complicated process.
David Carey joins us today with some important information to consider. David, it's great to have you
Well,
here.
thank you so much.
It's always an unexpected presentation.
Well, you know, today we're going to go back to basics a little bit. You know, we did this with Barbie a long time ago. Well, we've updated things. You know, it's more high tech. See, here's the thing. People are always saying, well, what's so bad about probate and how do trusts work and all the rest. So today we're going to go back to basics. This is how probate works. This is how people wind up in probate. See, we've got Barbie here. There she is. There's Barbie, and this is Barbie's house. And this is Barbie's checking account, and this is Barbie's car, and this is her boat, okay? Barbie's got a lot of stuff. You already knew that about Barbie. Well, she's got a lot of stuff, it's true, and she's got it all in her own name. And so she's just toddling around there, you know, what's the problem? Everything's going, whoa! Barbie slips and falls. Death or disability.
Right.
Okay? So people who own everything in their own name, they go along fine until they slip and fall. But when they slip and fall, what happens next? Well, out comes Janitor Justin. You know, Judge Janitor Justin, right? The probate court comes out to clean up the mess. Now, there's nothing we can do about Barbie. Sorry, Barbie is dead or disabled. Oops, sorry, Barbie. Somebody's got to clean up the mess. But the problem is, whenever the probate court shows up, along comes his little friend. This is attorney fees. This is inventory cost. This is all the hassles that traditionally go along with probate, and that can, you know, kind of chomp on your stuff. But since 2010, since we did this last time, there's been another problem, and that is the big friend.
Wow.
Right? This is estate recovery. Estate recovery is what happens when your assets go through probate. If your assets go through probate and you received help with the long-term care, now you got to worry about this guy too.
So let's clarify. So when we
Yes.
talk about help with long-term care, if you get Medicare, those sorts of
Medicaid,
assistance
right?
programs,
Social Security.
and somehow the government, the taxpayers, have helped to support that care for you,
Right.
then the government will come if you go through traditional probate and say, you have all these assets, we're going to take those back to
Right.
make the taxpayer whole.
Right. It doesn't really work that way. I mean, it's less than 1% is what they actually recover. But
But
that winds
still-
up, well, that winds up being millions of dollars
Right.
of homes and cottages and farms that the state has seized to pay back the Medicaid. Now, to avoid that, all you have to do is avoid probate.
Right.
That's what you have to do. And here's how you avoid probate.
Okay.
All right. See you later, guys.
Okay.
Here's Barbie again, but this time,
Instead of carrying all of her stuff in her own name, she's
she's got
done it
ta-da.
smarter.
Of course, it's pink.
Yes,
Gotta
of
be
course.
pink. if
Gotta
it's
be
Barbie.
pink, yeah.
And now Barbie's got all her stuff in her trust. This is how the trust works. The trust is just a shopping cart. It's Barbie's stuff. Barbie's the boss. I mean, you know, use your imagination. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. Barbie's
anyway,
still the boss of it,
Barbie-
but it's in a package where it's protected.
Correct. And now what happens when Barbie slips? You know, Barbie has to slip and fall again. Sorry.
Sorry,
Okay.
Barbie.
Sorry, Barbie. Well, Barbie's gone once again. But what happens to her stuff? Nothing. The stuff stays in the trust, and then the next successor trustee takes over. There's nothing for the Beebs to clean up, which means that, you know, nothing for the court to do, which means, nothing for the little friend to do, nothing for the big friend. Oh, sorry,
So if
Grant,
you're in
you
a
don't get
trust,
that
you don't
stuff.
go through the estate recovery?
You don't go through estate recovery at all.
Wow,
Does
that's
it matter
incredible.
what kind of estate you have? I mean, if you have, you know, minimal, you still should get a trust.
Well, you know, it's one of those things. You got to look at each case, each situation individually. But the question is, do you want to save it? If you've got something that's worth having, then it's worth protecting.
Especially if you've worked your lifetime to accumulate that.
And that's the thing. We're talking about people's life savings. You know, if you're talking about millionaires, right? The millionaires don't have to worry about it. A millionaire can make a lot of mistakes. Are you with me on that? I mean, you can make a lot of mistakes. Regular folks don't get to make those mistakes. We just don't have the margin of error. So that's why I say a will is simply instructions to probate court. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to avoid probate. I've got a will. Well, a will is just telling the Beebs where you want your stuff to go. That's what it is. So the trust is what avoids probate,
Right.
because there's never a mess to be cleaned up. That's
Okay,
the point.
so the important part about this, and the great thing is that you're our friend, you work with us here on 8West, and you have these great opportunities for people to come together at life plan workshops where
That's
they can
right.
start this process. Tell us what that is and when people can attend.
Yeah, the life plan workshops are workshops we do every single week, and we do them twice on holidays. So we had a couple for Mother's Day. We're doing a couple for 2 of them for
Memorial Day
Memorial Day.
coming up.
Thank you very much. And we're doing down in Holland. We're doing one at Hope College. We'll be having a life plan workshop down there, and it's a way to get the conversation started.
Right.
It's a way to go over. I promise there's no Barbies at the life plan
Oh,
workshops.
that's a bummer. People want to see the Barbies.
Yeah.
There may be this Papa Smurf, though, may
Yeah,
make
Papa
an
Smurf is
appearance.
always there, yeah.
We'll
But
talk
it
about the
does-
pot and the pie and all those other great analogies that you've made for us along the way.
Right.
It does
That's right.
fill up, though, so people do need to call, right?
You do need to call ahead. We're pretty full on the ones that there are a couple
Okay.
seats left. In Holland, we are full in Holland, but the nice thing about Hope College at the Hayworth Center down there, they'll give us a bigger room. So,
Oh, good.
if you're interested. Oh, plus, we have our Holland offices open now, so you don't have to
Wonderful.
make the trip all the way to GR for
Okay.
for us to follow up with you.
That is great.
And one last
One
thing I
last
gotta
thing.
say, the Alzheimer's Walk people are just thrilled that you've agreed to be their MC.
It's on my calendar coming up in September.
Well, and you told me you put it in ink, so that's even better.
That's right, it's not erasable.
That's right. Excellent.
Okay, stay right there. More of 8West when we come back.
And Sunday mornings from 7 to 9, it's the David Carrier Show on News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.
That's West.